Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we're going to be doing our day trading recap for the 3rd of September. Now, if you were following with Discord, this might have not been the cleanest trading day. We did end green, but it was quite different to our overall bias on how we made these greens. So we will go through everything we posted. So again, 1 minute before the open we so looking for longs on Qs and NQs today. We have a range to fill. Main area will be between 474 and 474. There's a second range at 473 and 476, so there's kind of two ranges within each other. Main focus is on this area. Only run profits for the second range high. Yeah, basically that's fine. So anyway, we had this range provided. Again, we kind of covered these levels and we put them in chat. This is where we expected QQQs to basically be able to push into and kind of fill this whole range. And again, we did have some catalysts kind of take us up there. We had some pre-market gaps and a 50 SMA to be kind of used as a magnet. Now, we did also have some downsides, and we did put this up. We do have a lot of downside gaps. So again, whenever we see this, again, you always be a bit more cautious because they are very close. We could kind of fly either way. Normally, when we have these ranges, that will normally be the way we target, or at least it will fill at some point throughout the day. Today was not the case. So again, we did note these downside targets. You expect these to fill, and whenever we give you a bunch of gaps like this where they're kind of all bunched together, expect if you start filling them, always along at that bottom one will tend to be a nice play, and that's how we made our money today. But again, we'll go through this kind of nearer the end. And same range, kind of the same thing over for SPY. We provided you the range, again expecting SPY to kind of come in, fill that range, and then do whatever it wants after there. And again, we had then two gaps to kind of fill, so those would kind of be our targets, but again, it didn't work out so much as planned. Now, when we're looking for longs, we need to find where do we want to find entries. Normally, we can use these fibs. We always, as you'll see in every recap we talk about, and even in the Discord, we always focus on the 423.6. That's always going to be the cleanest of the long entries. And again, sometimes you miss out. A lot of times it will kind of bounce, say, at this one and then fly. If so, then you can maybe miss out if you only want those cleanest entries. But again, that's all down to personal trade plans. Are you happy to miss out some trades to get the better entries on these ones? Or would you rather not take as many trades? And yeah, or take more trades, but again, have worse risk to rewards on them. That's always the choice. Again, we kind of just actually put that down here as well. Just say, like last week, again, the 423 fibs normally provide the nicest entries, especially on small accounts. So if you're trading small accounts, I would be patient and wait only for those. Now, we did talk about as well, we don't want to take any serious longs until we kind of get some more confirmation on the momentum indicators. We tend to use RSI and the MACD for both of these. In this case, you can see as we're kind of hovering in the bottom channels. So when you get this again, it's kind of just showing you that we are just going to kind of keep sinking to the downside. So until we can kind of break, hold it, and then we can look for the upside targets. Because again, like we talked about here, we have this upside target to fill, but we also have these down ones to fill. So if we're coming down to fill these, as we can see we don't want to flip long until we can kind of get a support held. And again, then just covering some VIX analysis as well. And what was actually finally clean was we had some anchor VWAPs on the 7th of August, so that the only ones we haven't really touched. And so these have finally come back. These have now been hit today. So again, that is less things drawing us to the downside going forward, because again, you always kind of have that bit of a magnet if you have a VWAP not touched. Now again, we're just going through the option premiums, and again explaining the risk to rewards on these. If you could get them for around $35 as we were talking about them. If we hit the bottom of the range, so again the range we provided here, if we come and just hit the bottom of that, those options would be up, you know, 200-300%. And so that's how we work out the risk to rewards, and you don't need stops on the options. And then last thing we kind of just covered is the long. So again, what we can go through real quick is if we go over to the NQs. Again, we talked about all these gaps coming to the downside, and what does it do? Provide great long entries. So again, if we go back to the Discord, that's where we got there, 70-point long on the NQ. So again, we made good money on the futures today. Options, however, we did lose money. And why is that? Because again, the way we take the trade plan on the futures is I try and buy these fibs if we have no confirmation yet. These will just be nice reversal points to get an early entry. But again, as you can see, we never got any confirmation over on the momentum indicators, which is again what we would need to kind of kind of confirm this move back up to those area fills, and in this case we didn't get it, so we got longs at our 423, which again provided a nice small move, but again nothing crazy, so we're kind of holding these hoping for a bigger move, which again obviously we didn't get, so we took a loss on those. QQQs I think was the one that hit earlier. Yeah, so we had two, because we had two ranges, we have two fibs. This first fib we did long, again that was kind of just a straight loss because it didn't hit it. And again, the same thing on this one. We kind of took long, seeing if we could kind of get the pops. But again, today was just not our day. We didn't really get any pops. But again, on all of these, we never really got that strong confirmation. We were just kind of hogging and hiding in this bottom channel. Which again, when we get this, that's no confirmation to be long. So again, we always take reduced size and caution when we can't hold. And again, the same thing on MACD. You can see we're kind of just holding the bottom channel. We're not able to break over that positive, which again just showing us that we're going to stay to the downside. So overall, I guess the analysis was definitely wrong today. Again, we wanted this range to fill, which we could not get on either. We did kind of just go down, but again, we didn't. You don't have to turn these into losing days. Your price can be wrong, but again, that's why we always have reasons for entry. Confirmation on here was never provided, so again, we never really got that strong re-entry or strong size to go to the upside. So again, options lost money because again, we try and hold these from these fibs to that range. Obviously, if we did not get that, we're going to lose money on those options. So the options lost money. The futures again, all we traded was the NQs, like we showed you in the Discord, longing this exact bottom for that scalp move, which again was a lovely trade, and again can wipe out all the option losses anyway. So hope you enjoyed the recap. Hope to see you next one, and that's it. Peace.